In fast, messy situations, a weak knife can let you down quickly, and that's exactly why the right tactical blade matters. A proper tactical knife isn't about looking intimidating or adding gear for the sake of it. It's about having something steady in your hand that works when things stop being predictable. Whether it's cutting through tough material, handling survival tasks, or giving you a reliable option for self-defense, the right blade brings a kind of confidence nothing else can. So in this video, we'll show you 25 strongest military tactical knives that work well for survival and self-defense. In case you like any of these, the updated price and purchase links are down in the description below, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's begin. When you're dealing with thick rope, webbing, or any of those stubborn materials that slow you down in the field, having a knife built to bite through them is a big relief. That's where the CRKT M16-14SF really shows what it's made for. Designed by Kit Carson, this knife leans on its triple-point serrations to chew through fibrous stuff that a plain edge would struggle with. It feels like it was made for the kind of tasks soldiers deal with on patrol or during fast-moving operations, where you just need a clean cut without fighting the blade. The automated liner safety adds another layer of security, so even when your grip shifts or your hands get sweaty or gloved, the lock stays solid and predictable. The AUS-8 steel blade with its titanium nitride finish handles field use well, staying resistant to the elements and cutting smoothly over time. And even though it's a fairly large knife at over 9 inches overall, the aluminum handle keeps it surprisingly light without feeling flimsy. That balance matters when it rides in your pocket day after day. It's not the knife you bring for prying or rough abuse, but for cutting, slicing, and fast deployment under pressure. The M16-14SF fits into a tactical setup naturally and reliably. Moving from a fast folder to something built for heavy-duty fixed blade work, the Cold Steel Leatherneck SF steps into that role without hesitation. This one is made for the moments when you need a knife that won't flex, won't fold, and won't complain no matter how rough the environment gets. The hand-honed saber-ground clip point in German D2 steel gives it the toughness needed for military tasks, from field prep to emergency prying in a pinch. The non-reflective black powder coat keeps things muted, which is always helpful when shine is the last thing you want to give away. The double quillen guard is one of its biggest advantages, keeping your hand locked in place during hard thrusts or cold weather grip shifts. The deeply checkered Grivex handle wraps around the full tang securely, and the machined steel butt cap isn't just decoration, it works as a hammering tool when needed, making the knife more multi-purpose. At nearly 12 inches overall, with a 6 3/4 inch blade, it feels like a proper combat knife, rather than a general use cutter. Paired with its secure X sheath, it carries steadily and stays ready. So, for field soldiers who want strength, reliability, and a blade that won't back down, the Leatherneck SF earns its place on the belt. After handling bigger fixed blades like the Leatherneck, it's nice dropping back into something compact that still feels tough enough for real field work. That's pretty much the whole vibe of the ZT-0357. It's a hard-working folder meant for everyday tactical tasks, without making things complicated. The 3 1/4 inch S45 VN blade gives you a good bit of cutting edge without being bulky, and the steel choice is where this knife earns respect. It holds an edge through long days of cardboard, rope, or fabric cutting, and it shrugs off corrosion the way you want in wet environments. The blackwash finish helps too because little scratches just blend in, which is great when you do not baby your gear. The assisted opening is quick and consistent, and even with gloves, pulling back that flipper feels natural. The liner lock is solid, though like most liner locks, it can feel a bit tight at first until it wears in. The G10 handles give enough grip, though they're not overly aggressive, which makes long use more comfortable. And for a knife made in Oregon, it stays surprisingly lightweight at just over 4 ounces. It's the kind of folder that does its job quietly and reliably, whether clipped to a plate carrier strap or riding in a pocket on long shifts. Shifting back into the fixed blade world, the Stroup TU2 feels like the kind of knife you grab when you know you'll be pushing hard, and need something that simply will not quit. It is handmade in North Carolina from 1095 high-carbon steel, and that steel choice makes a lot of sense for a tactical survival-style knife. It sharpens easily in the field and bites deep, though you do need to keep an eye on rust if you are working in wet or salty conditions. The 4-inch blade has a 0.18 inches thick blade, which is going to give you a confident feel. And the overall 8.5-inch length gives you plenty of leverage without being too big to control. The handle is long with a slimmer profile, which actually works well for bigger hands because you get full control without feeling squeezed. The finger hook is a clever touch, making it easy to yank the knife from the Kydex sheath during fast, messy situations. And pairing it with the BladeTech lock belt clip just makes carrying simpler. It is definitely more of a rough-use knife than a fine slicer, but that is exactly why it works in tactical environments. It is built to handle chaos, not sit pretty on a shelf. Now moving into something far more budget-friendly, the Smith & Wesson Extreme Ops is one of those knives that looks tactical at a glance and gives you a handful of useful features. The 3.1-inch clip-point blade comes in with a Black 7 CR17 MOV high-carbon stainless blade, partially serrated, so it gives you a mix of clean slicing and a bit of bite for straps or webbing. The black oxide finish keeps things low-key, which is nice in tactical situations. Plus, the aluminum handle keeps the whole knife light, so carrying it never feels like a burden. Now, the opening system is where things get a little mixed. On paper, having both a flipper and thumb studs sounds great, but in real use it can feel a bit fumbly, especially if your hands are cold or wet. Some users mention it doesn't open fast or lock up confidently without careful handwork. But the bright side is that once it is open, the liner lock holds decently for lighter tasks, and the strap cutter on the handle adds one more bit of utility. It's not a hard-use duty knife, but for basic cutting, opening packages, slicing cord, or keeping a backup tool in your pocket, it still finds a small practical place. When you want a compact knife that can instantly switch roles on the fly, the Civivi Typhoeus is one of those designs that actually delivers. It works as a short fixed blade for daily carry, but you can extend it into a 3-inch push dagger when you need a bit more reach. The blade itself is made from 14C28N steel, with a flat grind and black stone-washed finish, so it's tough enough to handle regular tasks. And at 57 to 59 HRC, so it's hard enough to hold an edge. Plus, the G10 handle feels solid in your hand and keeps a good grip. And at just under 3 ounces, it won't weigh you down if you're carrying it all day. So it's not for heavy chopping or batoning, but it's perfect for slicing rope, opening packages, or doing fine tasks outdoors. Well, some users wish it had a lock to keep the blade configuration fixed. When drawing it as a push dagger, the handle can sometimes slide back into knife mode, which feels a bit unsafe, but most users really like the Civivi Typhoeus for its clever design and solid build. So, the Typhoeus is one of those knives that just work when you need it in a survival situation. If you need to jump from clever convertible design to a folder made for real, punishing work, the Zero Tolerance 512 steps in hard. Its CPM crew wear blade stands out for being tough, long-lasting, and surprisingly easy to bring back to razor sharp. The dark bronze Cerakote finish isn't just for looks. It adds a layer of protection against scratches and corrosion, which we really appreciate if the knife sees heavy daily use. The handle is an interesting mix. Natural canvas micarta on the front for grip, and a dark bronze anodized titanium back that keeps it lightweight yet durable. Though we do feel the front micarta can get a little slippery if your hands are wet, but overall we like the balance it gives. The low-profile push-button lock is clever. It prevents accidental deployment, which we feel adds peace of mind, especially in a work setting. At just a bit over 4 ounces, it's light enough for pocket carry but still feels substantial in hand. Overall, this knife feels like a tactical workhorse with real USA-made quality behind it. Shifting from an automatic worker to something rugged and straightforward, the CRKT Sting brings that no-excuses attitude. It's a compact, dual-edged spearpoint knife built from 1050 steel and dipped in a black powder coat to take abuse without complaint. Overall length comes in just under 7 inches, with a 3.19-inch blade that keeps the profile compact. Its spear point shape makes it a balanced cutter and piercer, good for controlled work. It's made from 1050 steel and finished in a black powder coat, so the metal is simple, tough, and hides wear better than a bright finish. One of the Sting's standout features is the dual cutting edges, and it gives you confidence. And the carry system is practical. It includes a belt loop and ankle attachment, plus ships with a custom nylon stitch sheath that has a glass-reinforced nylon insert. There's also a clip for belt carry, or options to mount it to a pack or boot. You can pocket it or wear it on your belt, depending on how you dress. The only downside is the steel choice is easy to sharpen, but won't hold an edge like modern stainless steels, so it demands a bit more upkeep if you use it hard. If you want something that transitions from simple toughness to true tactical reliability, the SOG Pentagon XR fits that role perfectly. Its 3.66-inch black XHP stainless blade with a dagger-style grind is built to stay sharp while enduring heavy use. Here, we really appreciate its dagger grind blade. The top is mostly unsharpened, but the last quarter-inch near the tip is sharp, allowing it to pierce effectively. The handle is made from G10, giving it a secure grip even in wet or slippery conditions. Opening the blade is easy with either the thumb studs or the flipper tab, and the XR lock keeps it firmly in place once deployed. At under 5 ounces, it feels solid, but not overly heavy, making it practical for everyday carry in the pocket of a soldier, police officer, or anyone who values tactical reliability. The pocket clip allows tip-up carry and can be set up for right or left-hand use, making it flexible for personal preference. People keep coming back to it for the same reasons: solid build, smooth deployment, and the kind of reliability that earns real trust, especially backed by a lifetime warranty. So, the Pentagon XR makes it a trusted companion for anyone needing a dependable tactical knife. Moving from a pure tactical folder to something with more versatility, the Hogue Sig Sauer K320 series gives you options right away. You can pick between manual or automatic versions, both carrying the same 3.5-inch CPM S30V blade built for real field use. And there are basically both manual and automatic versions, the standard manual open K320 and the automatic K320A. They look a bit different at a glance. Different handles, different opening mechanisms, even the little styling cues can be different, but underneath, they're cut from the same cloth. The 3.5-inch drop point blade in CPM S30V steel offers sharpness, corrosion resistance, and durability suitable for tactical or field tasks. The black Cerakote finish reduces glare and provides extra protection, though it will wear with heavy abrasion over time. The gray polymer handle is lightweight and comfortable, though some may find it slightly smooth when wet, making grip attention necessary in slick conditions. And the flat grind with a hand-honed edge keeps slicing smooth and precise. At 8 inches overall and just over 4 ounces, it balances portability with utility, and the blade thickness of 0.12 inches makes it practical for both daily use and tactical applications. While it's not meant for heavy chopping or batoning, it handles cutting and piercing tasks. While being USA-made, the K320 series brings quality and consistency that's reassuring in a tactical knife, whether you prefer manual or automatic deployment, making it a dependable tool for EDC or operational carry. If you're shifting from everyday tactical gear to something built for true SEAR-level punishment, the MKC Redacted is that step up. Built for survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. This knife has just under a 5-inch drop point blade with a high saber grind, giving maximum tip durability while still slicing effectively. The full tang and G10 handle make it feel solid and balanced, though under 8 ounces of weight makes it noticeably heavier than most folders. Here, MagnaCut stainless steel provides a mix of edge retention, toughness, and corrosion resistance, keeping it reliable in wet environments. Plus, the Cerakote finish adds extra durability, but over time, heavy abrasion will leave marks. Overall length is just over 10 inches, giving a strong presence for both survival and tactical tasks, though it's a knife that demands respect. It's not a casual carry piece. The Redacted's isn't just casual carry, it's purpose-built and made in the USA for operators who need consistent, mission-ready performance when the stakes are high. After a heavy-duty survival blade, you might want something more compact and stylish, and that's where the Civivi Amarok slides in. Its Nitro V blade and ergonomic aluminum handle bring everyday practicality with a bit of flair. Well, not everyone is going to find it hard-hitting, it's a practical choice, but it's a cool pick for collectors and anyone who appreciates neat details. Its blade material is Nitro V, a stainless alloy that takes a fine edge and resists rust, and at 59 to 61 HRC, the heat treatment gives it a firm, durable edge that stays sharp through regular use. Overall length sits at just under 7 inches, compact enough to carry comfortably. Now, the blade length is a bit over 2 inches, so it's more of a small utility blade than something for heavy-duty chores. Blade thickness is 0.12 inches, and its overall weight is around 4 ounces, which gives it a solid feel in the hand. Plus, the ergonomic aluminum handle fits the hand well and makes regular tasks comfortable, and the finger ring doubles as a secure hold point while also housing a glass breaker for emergency use. It won't replace a full-size survival blade because it's built more for style and carryability than brute force, but it will be a refined everyday carry with a few useful ones. Switching back into real tactical territory, the SOG SEAL Commander is built for the kind of missions where gear simply can't fail. Its CPMS 35VN blade and the 5.25-inch clip point blade gives a balance of slicing and piercing ability, which we really like for a tactical setup. One thing we appreciate is the finger choil. It might seem small, but when we choke down, we get precise control that feels reassuring in tricky situations. The micarta handle is firm but comfortable, and we appreciate how it fills the hand without feeling bulky. It's the kind of grip that stays secure even when wet, sweaty, or messy, which is critical for any military or survival use. The knife rides in a Kydex sheath that grips firmly but doesn't make drawing difficult, so it's ready when we are. Well, the handle can feel a bit stiff at first, but it breaks in and molds to your hand over time. And being made in the USA just adds to the confidence. For us, this knife is a tactical companion that's practical and well-balanced in every way. If you want something more high-tech and fast-deploying, the Microtech Ultratech Gen 3 shows how an OTF can keep evolving. And this latest version shows that Microtech actually listens to real-world feedback and fine-tunes what matters. Here, the new Torx screw construction makes maintenance a little easier, and the aluminum handle, made from 6061T6, feels light but strong, something we appreciate when you actually carry these tools every day. What really stands out are the upgrades: the Crud Cutter, the dual-fuel drivetrain, and zero blade play. Those aren't just fancy names, they make the mechanism smoother, more responsive, and rock-solid when locked. Now, the M390 MK blade still delivers that sharp, long-lasting edge we expect from Microtech, and the deployment speed is addictive. There's a crisp authority every time the blade fires out. The built-in glass breaker is a small but welcome touch for anyone who uses this in real emergency situations. Well, we admit that it's not the lightest OTF out there and it can feel a bit mechanical in hand, but that's part of its character. It's built like a precision instrument. And for those who love OTFs, this one's easily a must-see evolution. Rolling from precision engineering into battlefield practicality, the CRKT Ramadi brings a soldier-designed approach. Its SK5 carbon steel blade and G10 handle make it a tough, dependable mid-sized fixed blade for rough field work. Designed by retired Sergeant Major Darren Williams Sirois, feels exactly like that, practical and dependable. The blade is crafted from SK5 carbon steel, known for its toughness and ability to hold a fine edge through hard use. It does ask for a bit of care, though. Carbon steel can rust if left wet. Now, the handle is G10, giving you a secure grip. And at 8.5 inches overall length with a bit over 4-inch blade, it strikes that nice middle ground, big enough for serious cutting jobs, but not too bulky to carry comfortably. The plain edge keeps things simple and easy to maintain, perfect for anyone who values a straightforward working edge. And it comes with a durable sheath that holds the knife, though it might feel a bit stiff until it breaks in with use. Weighing just under 6 ounces, it's got a confident feel in hand without being heavy on the belt. Overall, we can say, the Ramadi doesn't try to impress with flash, it's just a solid knife you can count on when things get rough. When the situation calls for something that can take outright abuse, the Demko 3V FreeReign is that grab it when things get bad. The Demko 3V FreeReign is a full-tang beast, forged from premium CPM 3V steel, trusted by military pros and serious survivalists alike. This isn't your weekend in the woods blade. It's designed to take real punishment and keep working when everything else quits. Here, we really appreciate its sheath system. You can completely take it apart for cleaning, and that might sound like a small detail, but in muddy, bloody, or sandy environments, keeping your gear clean can be the difference between staying sharp and failing when you need it most. Then there's the handle, rubberized and injection molded with aggressive texturing. Basically, it locks into your hand whether you're in gloves, soaked in rain, or even dealing with less than ideal situations. The flat grind makes cutting efficient, while the drop point shape gives it real piercing power. People often say it feels balanced enough to become an extension of your arm, which explains why it's used for everything from splitting firewood to backing you up in combat. It's not flashy, it's just reliable. And that's exactly why so many professionals keep it close. If you want to go from a heavy survival tool to a slimmer, but still combat-ready folder, the Hinderer Firetac hits the mark. Rick Hinderer himself pulled from his own military background to shape this design. And you can tell it wasn't meant for desk drawers. It was made for the field. It has this slim, linear profile that feels natural in the hand without giving up strength. Here, inside, you get CPM20CV steel, which means the edge just hangs on and doesn't dull easily, even after hard use. Military operators love how it balances being lightweight but still being built like a tank. Plus, it has a blade that is slightly over 3.5 inches in length with an under 5-inch G10 scale in the handle. And people say it's comfortable in every grip you try, whether cutting rope or preparing for defense. The fact that this was Rick's first big folding design, so it carries real heritage. Okay, the locking system, which isn't about flashy looks. It's built purely for function, which is exactly why operators trust it. Stepping into true survival-tested territory, the Sniper Bladeworks Mamu has already proven itself in real outdoor challenges. It's the kind of knife that feels natural in your hand, even when you've been working with it for hours. And it was actually tested and proven on Discovery Channel's Man Woman Wild, not in a marketing office. The blade itself is made of 420HC stainless with a black PVD coat, so no shiny reflections and plenty of rust resistance in tough environments. But here's a neat twist. The G10 handle scales have a bow drill socket built in. When modern fire starting fails, you can go primitive and still get a fire going. That kind of detail shows it's more than a weapon, it's a survival tool. With around 5.5-inch blade and flat grind, it balances strength and efficiency for tasks from slicing rope to prepping food. The sheath is versatile too, letting you carry it in multiple ways. Soldiers and outdoorsmen like how it adapts to different setups. Overall, the Mamu is about rugged reliability and smart touches that make life easier when things get rough. If you feel like the last few knives kept things modest in size, the Cold Steel Recon 1 XL takes the opposite route. With a massive 5.5-inch CTS XHP blade, it brings folder convenience with near-fixed blade power. This folding knife gives you serious cutting power wherever you go. And it's earned a spot among soldiers and law enforcement who want raw cutting power at hand. The lock is where it really shines. Cold Steel's Triad lock is widely regarded as one of the strongest around. So even with that big blade, you know it won't fold up on you mid-task. The steel holds its edge, shrugs off abuse, and tackles jobs that could ruin lesser knives. Well, its sheer size may make it overkill, but it bridges the gap between folder and fixed blade. You get portability and convenience, but also the confidence of a larger tool. The G10 handle grips tight in sweaty, muddy, or gloved hands. And talking about the weight, instead of being a downside, it actually helps the knife cut deeper with less effort. Plus, the dual thumb stud openers provide smooth, reliable performance every time. Users love that it's more than a big showpiece. It's a capable workhorse. In high-stress scenarios, that extra durability and power is exactly what you want. When you need something with bayonet-like authority, the Zero Tolerance 6 picks up where the Recon 1 XL leaves off. Inspired by the old ZT9 bayonet, it's been refined for modern survival and combat use. Right away, you'll notice the CPM 3V steel, a tool steel known for resisting chips and holding toughness even in brutal conditions. Think of it as the modern evolution of a battle-ready bayonet, tuned up for today's survival and combat use. The Cerakote finish adds corrosion resistance without compromising performance, while the full tang with a steel guard makes it a tank of a knife. With a 6-inch blade, it strikes that sweet spot, not too long to handle, but big enough to chop, slice, and pierce effectively. The OD Green G10 handle isn't just for looks. It's textured and shaped to stay secure, whether your hands are slick, bloody, or gloved. Okay, the sheath deserves mention too. Kydex with a retention strap, built for rough carry without coming loose. At 10 3 ounces, it's not a featherweight, but that weight works in its favor, giving extra chopping force when needed. Military people appreciate how it handles real abuse, from survival tasks to direct field work. At its core, the 6 is a survival-first knife that doesn't quit, making it the blade you reach for when the odds are stacked against you. If you want to downsize again, but keep tactical capability, the Kizer Quartz gives you compact strength. Its AEBL Tonto blade and grippy G10 scales make it a small fixed blade that still punches above its size. The Tonto profile is what gives it real punch. That strong, reinforced tip makes it perfect for piercing and heavy-duty cuts, jobs that other blade shapes can't handle as well. The overall length of just over 7 inches makes it manageable and easy to carry without losing effectiveness. Now, the G10 handle is simple but effective, grippy, reliable, and comfortable with or without gloves. Pair that with the Kydex sheath and belt clip, and you've got a knife that rides securely and deploys quickly. Soldiers like the part that it's just a dependable tool that's always ready. With its flat grind, you get consistency across tasks, whether slicing through straps or prepping kindling. The stone-washed gray finish not only looks rugged, but also hides wear and scratches, so it stays looking solid even after hard field use. For anyone who wants fixed blade dependability in a compact size, the Quartz fits right in. Jumping back to heavy hitters, the Tops Operator 7 is basically a steel brick shaped into a knife. It's a bold and built to handle whatever you throw at it. It's more steel slab than blade, and that's part of its charm. And with 0.3-inch thick stock, it's more like carrying a steel slab shaped into a knife. Talking about its handle, with tan canvas micarta and black G10 layers, it's over an inch thick, filling your hand like an axe handle. That gives better leverage and control, especially during hard chopping or defensive tasks. The blade's recurve edge bites deep into wood and materials, making cutting feel easier. Users say its weight does most of the work, so you don't have to. On top of that, the double guard and solid pommel make it useful for striking and keeping your hands safe in combat situations. It comes with a Kydex sheath and dangler, keeping it secure but still accessible on your gear. The overall vibe is confidence. This is the kind of knife that feels indestructible. Whether it's smashing through survival chores or backing you up in tactical use, the Operator 7 is built like a tank and refuses to quit. Now, if you want that classic combat silhouette but with modern upgrades, the SOG Tech Bowie nails the blend. It keeps the iconic Bowie profile but updates it with AUS 8 steel, a stone-washed finish, and a grippy Creighton handle. That finish isn't just about looks. It protects against wear and corrosion while giving it a tough, tactical vibe. With the same grind geometry as the original Bowie, the blade is 0.2-0.4 inches thick. At a bit over 6 inches long, it gives you reach and serious cutting power, plus a faceted tip that's excellent for piercing. Instead of the traditional stacked leather, the handle is Kraton rubber. That's a big upgrade. It's grippy, shock-absorbing, and stays reliable even when wet. Add in the sculpted crossguard, and you've got hand protection plus a secure feel. All the metal components of crossguard, pommel, and blade carry that same stone-washed protection. The sheath is molded nylon with a belt clip, tough and easy to access when needed. Soldiers and outdoor professionals say it bridges old-school military style with modern performance. Basically, it's classic Bowie reliability dressed for the modern battlefield. Shifting into military history territory, the Kabar Ek Model 5 carries all the heritage of the Ek Commando legacy. Its 1095 Crovan clip-point blade. It's part of the John Ek Commando Knife Company legacy, and that means it's built on a tradition of combat blades trusted by American soldiers through multiple wars, and it's an updated fighting and utility knife for today's operators. It's a straightforward, soldier-friendly choice. That combo gives it the strength and edge retention you need while still being easy to sharpen in the field with simple tools. At nearly 7 inches, the clip point blade has a sharp tip for thrusting and plenty of edge for utility cuts. The guard is a classic S shape, giving your hand real protection and letting you shift grips depending on the task at hand. The handle itself is glass-filled nylon, textured for grip and fitted with those traditional X-head fasteners. Little details that remind you of its wartime heritage. It rides in a polymer sheath with a retaining strap and multiple tie-down points, so it's versatile in how you carry it. Operators say the EK5 is about pure function over flash overall. It's a knife designed to work hard and stay dependable, keeping alive the kind of design that has saved lives in combat for decades. To round things out with something built from user feedback, the OffGrid Backcountry V2 is a true do-everything field knife. It came together after a lot of feedback from actual users and testing by military and outdoorsmen, so it's not theory, it's proven. The geometry is interesting too. It's got both edge and spine recurves, which give it that aggressive look, but also a serious cutting bite. The blade is Cryo D2 steel with a titanium nitride coating. That means excellent edge retention, good corrosion resistance, and the toughness to withstand hard chopping or slicing. At 4.5 inches, the blade strikes a practical balance, big enough to handle demanding work, small enough to stay quick in the hand. The G10 handle has been shaped with chamfering and jimping, so it locks into your grip whether your hands are bare or gloved. Users highlight the sheath just as much as the knife. It's Kydex with the OG Low Pro clip for low-profile carry. That means it stays out of the way until you need it, but still deploys quickly. It's built to handle every scenario without hesitation. Overall, the Backcountry V2 is described as a crossover blade, perfectly at home cutting camp chores one moment, ready for defense the next. So, that was our video on the 25 strongest military tactical knives for survival and self-defense. Let us know your favorite pick in the comments section, as we'd love to hear from you. And, as for everything else, don't forget to like, comment, and share. And hit the bell icon if you want more content like this on your feed.